It's John Young with DJNTV. Tonight we are coming to you live from a very, very cold and very, very windy Minnesota today. We had just spent the last, and it's really, really cold and such because I was in Anaheim this past week. We had NAMM show down in Anaheim, and it was an incredible experience. We had people from literally around the world descending in Anaheim at the convention center to learn about the latest and greatest in the musical industry. Pianos and guitars and speakers and lights and what have you. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a thought on that tonight of some of the stuff that we saw there, and then I've got a thing on some subwoofers I wanted to talk about, and then we're going to wrap it up because it's cold and I'm going to go back get the studio. We don't keep it that warm in here, so truthfully it's a little chilly. Anyway, so at NAMM, one of the big questions is what's some of the cool stuff. Some of the things that were different or observations. First off, musical wise, if you've never been there, there's a whole section like of guitars and a whole section of drums and then your brass instruments and different things. So there's just a lot of stuff. And if you watched, we put 75 videos up, and I don't know if any, maybe one or two is an interview video. We shot that many again of interview videos of the reps talking about the gear. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Anyway, so as I'm walking through the guitar area down there, and of course you've got some beautiful guitars, American made, from around the world. They're there, and then you got the guys who are selling wood. They're selling the wood pieces, so you can actually carve or make your own guitars, or you can sell that wood to the people who are going to make their own guitars. It's beautiful pieces of wood, and as I'm thinking about it, it's like, that's a beautiful piece of whatever wood, and it's like, gosh, I think I've seen things like that we thrown into a campfire somewhere. Well, not quite that nice, but so that's kind of interesting. Is that you've got all these other things, and then you've literally got a device there that's grinding and that's milling a guitar. It's kind of cool. So not DJ related, but that's just a little thing. DJ related. Let's start with speakers. There were some new speakers here. Electro Voice had some new things. Yorkville had some new things. JBL had some new things. PV had some new things. Fender had some new things in the speaker world. We've got videos on all of those. I'm going to talk about just a couple, though. Electro Voice, they came out with their ETX line of speakers. This is their top-end line of speakers now. So they've got the ZLX, which is their kind of intro level, high quality, but still at their lower price range. Then they've got the LiveX, and now they've got the ETX. I got to go down to their plant and listen to those fabulous speakers. In some of my videos, I talk more about that, so that was pretty cool. I went into JBL, and JBL's got a new Eon. It's the 615. It's a really kind of cool cabinet. They've done some things with baffling on the cabinet, and we've got a video shot on that, but they're really concerned about the directional, trying to direct the bass a little bit more, so the bass has the same coverage as the horn, which was kind of cool. Let's see. Yorkville. Really excited about Yorkville because a lot of you have been, asking us to look at Yorkville speakers. Well, we got to connect with the right people at Yorkville, and we will be able to bring you some reviews and some thoughts on some of the Yorkville stuff and to get it up here. So really excited about that. As many of you know, of course, I'm a huge Yamaha fan. I've used a lot of their gear. We actually got to listen to the high-end Yamaha. They've got two different series out there for the DJs. They've got the ZX series and the ZS, as in Sam series. We actually got to listen to the ZSR, the 18-inch sub, under a 12-inch, the 112 top. Oh my gosh. That's on my bucket list for things I need to get in here to be able to bring to you, is some of the higher end stuff. There's a lot of entry level stuff. There's some less expensive gear out there if you're just starting out. American Audio's got some stuff out there you're definitely going to want to check out. There's a lot of stuff, but for the guys who are looking for the higher end, there's some cool things. RCF has got some new stuff out there that we're going to be looking at also. We made the right connections for that. Yay! So yeah, that was really kind of cool. There's some good stuff coming in the speaker world. Good intro. I mean, they can bring sound systems to you today at a price point that was unheard of 5 years ago, which is really kind of cool because some of those systems that are coming out now, they were playing those, and for less than a map of under $200, and it sounded really good, and it actually had some horsepower to it. Wow! So that's something big that came out for 2014 NAMM. Another thing that was interesting is first speakers, colors. I saw more colored speakers where they had neon color or a pink or an orange or fluorescent, whatever. I hadn't seen the colored speakers before. I don't know what kind of a market there's going to be for that, but they were there. yeah, it wasn't in any of the major manufacturers. It was one of the one of the more startups that were there. Another was LED lights in speakers. Now this ranged from, we've all got the little LED, that's the signal thing that you can defeat in a lot of the higher end cabinets. But that's not what I'm talking about. There were some that had LEDs around the cone that kind of would bounce to their glow to the music. There were some that had actually LED lights in the side of them. One particular pair, it was a left and a right, and it would have it so the lights would shine in from the speaker. So they were built in, there were little holes in the speaker, and it would shine in. So if you were a karaoke DJ, you'd be able to stand there, the lights would shine on you. And they also had like a little, probably a 3-inch monitor built into the speakers. So you had control of the volume going out, and you had control of the volume coming towards the karaoke singer, which was kind of interesting. I hadn't seen that before. That was fun. That was kind of a first. Another, as long as you're talking about kind of weird things, another company out there had a 15-inch two-way cab, powered unit, and it had like a 5-inch monitor in the back of it. Literally a TV screen in the back of the speaker. I couldn't figure out logistics of how that would work. And the idea was that they could plug in because they had that little composite connection. I didn't see how it would work, truthfully. Then he was mentioning that they're going to have it where there's a flip up monitor up on top, like a 7-inch flip up. So that means that if I'm doing karaoke, I'm going to be behind a speaker. We're going to put the speaker low, so now it's firing into people's knees. That didn't make much sense to me there, but it was there. Okay, enough for sound. Now for speakers, mixers. There's a lot of new things that we get to see. The new Pioneer board, the SZ, is a beautiful looking board. Went around and looked at. There's a lot of updates. Some of the current boards that are out there, they've done some updates, software updates, what have you. There's some cool things with Serato that we got to hear about, and we'll be talking to We've talked to some Serato reps that will be on some of the videos we have. So nothing really earth shattering in the controller in that world. Except the Millennium Falcon player, that was pretty awesome. But that a lot of cool stuff came out last year, and that was where it is. Lighting. Of course, we were in LDI back in November, and you heard a lot about the stuff from LDI. There are some new things out there, some new adjustments or maybe a second generation in a light series. Some new things out there from Chauvet and Blizzard and American ADJ. There's some stuff out there. It's LDI was just so awesome. I mean, there are so many products that we introduced to you in November. The biggest thing, what they were able to do, is to show you things now that they've had more time to work with and more time to program into their light shows, like the Crazy 8 from ADJ. Oh my gosh, that's a cool light. It's 2 bars. It's a moving head that can spin, and these 2 bars that have 4 LEDs, and they can do their thing, and it's really a cool lighting effect. That wasn't something that was ready as on display, let's put it that way, as much as it was here. But again, there was lots of cool things, and we've got a lot of videos we'll be bringing out with that to kind of get you up to speed. So yeah. It was a great time. Weather was fabulous. I think I've got probably another 50 videos. What I wanted to show you now is a video we've talked about. We've talked about when we went to some of the shows that we saw some weird subwoofer configurations where they were putting subwoofers in sets of 3, where they would have a front firing, a rear firing, and a front firing. Well, I actually shot a video, and we're going to put this video up as a standalone on the Disc Jockey News, but I wanted to show that to you, and then once it's done, we'll come back and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But it's a really kind of a cool, a little cool thing. I wonder if I can put it up right here. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. We are at NAMM 2014, and this is something I think I've alluded to in some videos in the past, is the configuration of subs on some of the stages. I wanted to show you this. We've got 2 that are firing front in a stack and 1 that's going backwards. Come over here. We have front, backwards, front, backwards, front, and again in a set of 3. And on the other side, we have forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back. Now the question becomes, why am I seeing the back of the speakers? Well, first off, for those of you watching the video, you're thinking, oh, they aren't even plugged in. This is kind of cool about the JBL. Is you'll see they've got the recess spot, and they have the plug right there. So you can put that nitrix type connector in, boom, you're good. This is done to cancel the bass sound. They've got some processing that's going on inside with, you've got your stand with all the amplifiers and the boards and such. What they're doing is they're processing the sound a little bit, and they've got it set so that this sub, the rear firing one, is actually sending out the inverse waves going backwards to cancel the bass. So in an outdoor application like this, where they do not want to have massive amounts of bass radiating towards the back, they want to have the bass be directional. So by doing this in a 2 forward, 1 back configuration, whether it's on the bottom and then the 2 on top going forward, or side by side, they're able to cancel the bass to the point where you can be behind this and you're not hearing much bass at all. You're hearing a little bit, but not to the point you would be hearing without that. And of course that helps to give direction to the bass coming forward. So it's all coming down the street. We've got our big area going right up to the NAMM building. We have this pounding out into the crowd, but not going into the residential area. This is very common in outdoor applications. If you are doing an event, excuse me, this is 3 days of talking. If you're doing an event outdoors, this is a technology you definitely want to check out. Some of the new speakers at NAMM are using this technology. It's built in. It's literally a setting that you do your forward, and then you turn to 1 backwards, and you've got that cancellation. You've got your sound going forward, virtually nothing coming backwards. You can have, I was talking to the guys from EV with the new ETX sound system, and I believe they were saying that you could have up to a 30 dB drop from the front, going from the front to the back on your bass sound. So you're going from very loud to present, but not going to offend the neighbors if you're doing an outdoor event in town or something to that effect. So kind of a cool thing. Again, it can be achieved with your subs. You're seeing how they're doing. This is, from what my understanding, having it with the sub on the bottom and the 2 is your preferred method of setting this up. You don't want to put that in the middle because you're not getting the linking that you'd like with the one going backwards. So it's backwards, forward, or it's every other one if you have a configuration like this. This is John Young coming to you from NAMM 2014 with a sub placement story. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. There we are. Sorry, wrong camera. And I've got to shut that off. There we go. So that was our video we shot at NAMM, and I hit too many buttons. So you got to see the camera that's not installed. That's the other one. Very cool. First off, all the stages is really kind of cool. But secondly is that technology. One of the new lines that has that is the ETX from Electrovoice. They have that technology in their that 18-inch sub, because we actually specifically talked about that technology with them. And it's really kind of cool. I talked to the guys and they said that, hey, we'll shoot a video when it gets a little warmer. We'll go outside and put the camera in front and camera in back. We'll let it rock and have some fun with it. So, yay. But that's about it for tonight. We're just doing a short little thing. As you heard, that was yesterday. I shot that. My voice was crap, and truthfully, I'm probably going to start breaking up, and I'm going to sound like a teenager again shortly. On the schedule this week, we're going to be doing a couple of interviews. I've got a couple of people lined up, and then we've got next Sunday headed to Las Vegas. I know none of us like to go to Las Vegas. It's usually kind of boring, not much going on, and we like to, gosh, what do you do? I personally do a lot of crossword puzzles when I'm in Las Vegas because that's a good time to catch up on my crosswords. But for those moments I won't be crosswording, we're going to be talking to a lot of DJs. We're going to have a staff at Mobile Beat Las Vegas 18. We're doing a lot of interviewing of DJs. We want to find out what guys are thinking, doing, what's cool, what's hot, and just really bring that information to you. There's going to be some really cool things with live streaming happening with DJNTV that you won't see anywhere else. We're really excited about that. We're going to be talking more about that in some of my interviews this week. I can just say that you're best to be there. I mean, if you could still make it, you're going to benefit. Second best, if you can't be there for the full show, come and get involved, or you get exhibit pass, because there's free educational seminars from a DJ and from Show A DJ in that exhibit area where you're going to benefit. If you can't make either of those, you're going to do well to be by your computer during the show hours, because you're going to get some content delivered live stream from DJNTV that you won't find, again, anywhere else. But that's it for me. This is John Young with DJNTV, coming back from NAMM and ready to call it a day. Take care. We'll see you later this week.